We be live. Hello, Durud and Shalom.
We have our wonderful co-host Armin Navabi, and I am Adi Samani. And
I
today
forgot about that.
we'll be bringing you the most updated news on Iran and the Middle East. So welcome back, everyone. Today we are anticipating a possible massive operation by the United States on the Islamic Republic of Iran. As we speak, the Islamic Republic of Iran is having its missile cities hit. Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan are all receiving missiles and drones from the Islamic Republic in turn. So the Middle East skies are quite busy at the moment. The airlift of equipment into the Middle East has continued and has reached almost 100 refueling tankers. The U.S. issues yet again another alert for possible escalation in the Middle East this weekend, prompting Israel to be at peak alertness. Trump met earlier today with top advisors in a National Security Council meeting to discuss the strikes in Iran, and J.D. Vance was not invited or attended. China and Russia have been issued a warning not to interfere in Iran, and a Russian's weapon shipment to Iran via the Caspian Sea was destroyed last night in a U.S. strike. We're also able to hear that Russia has signaled to the United States that they are ready to end the Ukraine-Russia war. The Houthis have targeted yet again another ship today and are receiving warheads on foreheads as of the past hour from the Saudi military. In addition to all that, we'll bring you the analysis of the internal workings of the Islamic Republic of Iran so you guys have a better understanding. With that, I want to begin with a conflict timeline that we have of everything so we can get some expectations in order. The conflict timeline is a particularly dear image to me, which I will be showing you guys in this. There we go. So I'll pull it up here. Armin, what do you think is going to happen regarding the midterms that are coming up in, I think it's, we have another about 40 days until the midterms pop up.
Ooh, really? That close?
Yes. Yeah, there it is. There's that picture. It escaped me for a second. All right, guys, this is going to be the timeline for the conflict that we have. I'm going to share this with you all. So let's take a look. I will zoom in for you guys so you don't have to do it yourselves. And we can begin, as we saw back in February, we have all the months here covered. We have the negotiations, we have the war, everything down to the ceasefire, MOU, even the UFC event. We are currently we are in this phase right here. It's the US blockade and the sanctions are back, and we're about to hit August. So August is this row, this purple row, where sand and dust storms in the Middle East have reached their peak season. And September 18th is when early midterm voting begins. So it seems like if we're going to go by the assumption that the midterms are incredibly important and nothing will happen during them, looks like the month of August here that's rolling up next week is going to be of utmost importance. However, there are going to be some sand and dust storms. Heat is incredibly high in the southern coast of Iran at the moment, and pretty much throughout the country. Do you think that if we don't see something happen in the next 40 days until September 18th, that everything will get thrown until after the midterms, which is November 4th? So if it's not next month, it'll be 4 months from now. I want to see what people in the chat also think about that. It's really hard to say, but yeah.
So there's two theories. Yeah, so go on, talk to the chat. You were sorry, I thought that you were done. Go on.
No, I just want to see what people in the chat have to say, but I also want to hear what you have to say.
Yes. You guys tell us what you think in the channel. There's two theories, and you guys tell me which one you agree with more. Okay. One theory suggests that United States is not going to do anything until the midterms because inflation, because oil prices up, gas at the pump you're going to pay more, inflation goes up, bad for midterms. Another theory says that what's bad for the midterms is no results for the war against the Islamic Republic. So the President Trump needs to show something that could be demonstratable as a complete win, like the Strait of Hormuz being open, or something that shows that the Islamic Republic has submitted. And that not having that, not being able to demonstrate that, will be more devastating for the midterms than inflation. Okay, so this theory suggests that President Trump has to do something fast, and it's already too late before the midterms, right? So the theory that American voters are going to be more impacted by high oil prices, high gas prices, and inflation suggests that President Trump should wait after the midterms. The theory that suggests that no, President Trump, for the sake of the midterms, should show that something has already been achieved, something significant has been achieved in the war against the Islamic Republic, suggests that he should do something before the midterms. So what do you think, Ali, based on those two?
I've had this feeling since the beginning that whatever he wanted to do would be before the midterms, and it's not really his choice. But I'll say a couple things about that. But in terms of oil reserves and prices and potential messing up of the US economy, I think he has much more to lose than to gain here. And if he does, as you just said, the most important part, have something to show, which would be this operation we're anticipating at literally any second now, to get the Strait of Hormuz out of the grasp of the Islamic Republic. Oil prices come down. The US has much more breathing room, even potentially able to sit back. They open up their options a ton with that. So it would really seem like he should act here. It's the smarter thing to do. And I don't believe that Trump wakes up in the morning and says, today I feel like hitting the Islamic Republic, or today I don't. I think these plans are very much thought out and drawn and worked on, and he's presented many different options with many different foreseeable predictions that go along with them. So in my opinion, I think we're due for something sooner rather than later. I do think, though, with this operation that we're going to see any day, we could see the Israelis join in to mow the lawn, do what they're best at, decapitate the leadership of the Islamic Republic while the US takes the strait. And then tactically, the US can actually sit back, keep control of the strait, and keep on mowing the lawn in Islamic Republic leadership until someone emerges who's willing to completely either surrender or do whatever that the US and Israel needs them to do. It does seem that's one viable strategy.
Yeah, so that would be the ideal strategy, right? I mean, we could only dream. There's one argument. I'm not saying this is a good argument, but there's one argument for why we should. I mean, why some people argue that Israel should sit this one out. I don't agree with it, but they're saying that one reason why the Arab countries did not get involved is because they didn't want to be on the same side of a war with Israel. And the United States wants the Arab countries to do more. And there's now more reports that suggest that a lot of the missiles going at the Islamic Republic has been coming out of, I don't know, UAE. I don't know if Saudi Arabia was there or not, but UAE and Saudi Arabia. And that's the main reason why they're not being hit. It's not because of any financial deal that the UAE or Saudi Arabia had with the Islamic Republic, is because they actually responded with missiles. And that's why the Islamic Republic is focusing on Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan. And if these other countries also start responding, just like UAE and Saudi Arabia have, then the Islamic Republic will stop responding to them as well, right? That is another. And some people are saying, like, look, this is why UAE is not getting attacked, because they're responding. And we need to get everybody here to start responding. This is their neighborhood. But these countries don't want to be participating in a war. And I know it's kind of ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. But these countries don't want to show the Islamic world that we are in the same side of a war with Israel. So there's some push to hold Israel back so that these countries could actually participate. Again, guys, that's not my arguments. Okay, don't come at me. Put your tomato. Stop. I see that rotten tomato. I see that. Put it away. I'm just reporting to you other people's suggestions here.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
I can definitely see that. We'll actually talk about that when we talk about Saudi Arabia in just a second. They are approved to have a nuclear program between the United States and Saudi here, on the condition that they make peace and good relations with Israel, which would be historic. It's never happened before. So we'll get to that. I want to show you guys the map of the strikes last night over Iran, and you can see that they've steadily crept up much more in terms of going into central Iran, with some heavy B1 explosions happening around this area in central Iran there. We already have reports of explosions for tonight, striking as far as north in the Mazandaran province or Golan province of Iran. So that's pretty far up and out of the way, and as well as the southwest being struck at the moment. Now, a lot of things are pointing to us going straight back to a war, possibly even tonight, this weekend. You have Canada warning its citizens in the Middle East, along with the United States. They've issued multiple warnings. France, Britain, China, Israel opened its shelters. The strategic B-1 bombers, the B-52s are in theater. Al-Zaidi came back from his visit to Tehran. There's a massive air bridge of equipment coming in from Europe and the Americas. So we actually have images. We'll show you guys about that as well. So like this is a HIMAR truck that's loaded onto a Super Hercules plane and put into one of the Kuwaiti bases. So I think that's an engineering marvel, for example, that you're able to load this big boy up onto a plane and just bring him in, which is, you know, it's the genius of the military of the United States. We have a new $70 billion budget allocated for the war in Iran, and the U.S. military budget is the largest in the world, so it's not like it can't commit that fight anyway. Congress also failed to block Trump's war powers, so that will continue. And it largely seems, I want to see if you agree with this or not. I was thinking last night in the car and I was driving back about this whole situation. And it has to do between JD Vance and Marco Rubio and how Trump plays them. Not against each other, he just lets them play against each other. He has nothing to fuel it. So I think his style, Donald Trump's style of being a president, is to create some sort of discussion or argument, and he allows his own administration to go against each other. Whoever emerges victorious, he will go towards that person and that policy and adopt what they're saying. We saw Marco Rubio and JD, they took complete opposite stances on the Islamic Republic. Marco is, hey guys, this is the reality. They're never going to stop. They're going to be the murderous, evil dictators that they are. And JD says, well, we can probably talk to them. And after we talk to them, we can pull out and everything will be fine. At this point, it's pretty clear who won that. I think Marco won that. And so going by that, Trump has now picked up on the military aspects. We've seen the last this is the 14th night in a row that the U.S. is striking Iran and striking IRGC targets. I believe that Marco's won. And that doesn't mean to say we can't go back to the JD doctrine, which is negotiate. We can, and Trump has explicitly stated that in his interviews today with the press. But it seems like whoever has more popularity or whoever has the most momentum in that moment, Trump will adopt their policy as long as it benefits what he thinks in his own head. And I don't think he shares what's in his head with anybody. And that's how he's able to give himself political maneuverability, unpredictability. He flips between different strategies. People think he's unpredictable. He's not. I think if you follow the people in his administration and see what Bessent, Marco, and JD and Hexeth are doing, it's pretty clear that those are his four prongs of attack, with perhaps even JD being a fall guy based on some of his incompetence that we've actually seen lately. What do you think that Trump's, rhyme or reason is?
For what exactly?
For this whole conflict, because I'm saying it's not like he's completely unpredictable or completely without any sort of reason. It's like whatever policy at the time is most
Yep.
beneficial,
I mean,
he goes with that.
it's a. I mean, I've heard this strategy that people claim that Trump uses this strategy a lot. Like this is something, and honestly, you can never tell if that's what's happening or not because nobody can read their mind. But I've seen so many people, based on what they observe, saying that this is Trump's strategy, and it's not necessarily what's popular. It's whoever wins, whoever demonstrates to have the upper hand in their, in demonstrating that their way is the right way. And I think that's a smart model. It's basically very Darwinian. It's based on competition. Instead of determining what's the right way, you let all sides make their case and see who comes on top and then make the decision accordingly. It's actually I think it's not a coincidence. We saw at first, like you saw a lot of Rubio speaking, and then for a period of time when the MOU talk was happening, then Rubio was not speaking that much. He was like not speak. You could see he's silent. He's just in there in the background. And JD Vance was speaking a lot. And
Exactly.
then now we're going back to Rubio speaking a lot. So that might be sign that we're about to do something big because Rubio is now the one who's being presented and in the front scenes. Yeah.
And after we do something big, it doesn't mean that we can't go back to negotiations either, because JD is going to make another appearance if my instincts tell me anything at this point. Let's see what Donald Trump himself had to say today. He had the press come in and ask him questions. Honestly, his interview was just supposed to be about energy. All the questions ended up being about Iran. Let's take a look at what he has to say about them.
The exit strategy.
Well, I think there's a lot of them. There's a military exit where we just keep going just the way we are, and we can even make it a heavier dose, and it's knocking out everything they have. Or there's a smarter strategy that's you make a deal, and they want to make a deal. I just don't think they're ready yet, but they do want to make a deal. Sometimes they don't want to say they want to make a deal. They want to be the tough guys, but they do want to make a deal. There's two ways. I mean, it's you can just keep doing exactly what we're doing and take them apart piece by piece. We could do it in a more rapid fashion, which we might do, or we can negotiate with them, which we're also doing right now. I mean, as we speak, we're talking to them.
And you
As we speak, we're talking to them. If you guys watched the live yesterday, we told you that al-Zaidi, the prime minister of Iraq, visited Washington last week. And it seems like he got some instructions, some messages from Donald Trump to pass to the Islamic Republic, because when al-Zaidi went back to the Middle East, he did go to Tehran, he did talk to the Ayatollahs, and he did deliver him that message. Now, that message from Donald Trump was rejected outright from the Islamic Republic, which tells us that the demands were not something that the Islamic Republic were willing to accept. They are still talking, and it is very, very possible that we can see a last-second upset, that the operation does not go through. Maybe they wait a little bit longer. Maybe they carry out the operation and then go back to the negotiations. It seems like Donald Trump really does prefer that option to be always present for himself. With that, we have some of the Saudi air and Houthi activity that's been going on. So we'll show you guys that. Once again, the Houthis have targeted another ship, incurring some minor damage on a Saudi vessel, hitting the hull of it. I don't know if it was with a RPG or some sort of, drone, but the ship's okay, and it actually prompted a Saudi-led coalition. Now, I don't know who else is joining the coalition. I can take a guess that it is the U.S. as well. And today they have been bombarding Hodeidah, which is one of the Houthi strongholds. And we can see that this has been geo-confirmed, that this area, which is on fire, is pretty much right on the coast and the port. Turns out, from what we know from Al Arabiya, some of the local news reporting, it was a weapons depot of the Houthis. They actually started striking multiple of them, and residents are reporting multiple secondary explosions, suggesting that the weapons inside the weapons depot are also catching fire and blowing up. The United States in the other strait that's in the Middle East, which is quite important, we can go right across next door to the Strait of Hormuz here, where I actually just got some breaking news for you guys that the US military has now supposedly disabled a second merchant ship trying to violate the blockade. So yes, so as per CENTCOM, their spokesperson, Captain Hawkins, we hear from, the MT Levine tried to run the blockade 4 times. It was warned multiple times. They did not comply. And the US military fired a Hellfire missile into the engine room. So that is a second disabled tanker. I have a crazy theory for you guys. And Armin, I want to get your opinion on this. There's a something incredibly interesting that just happened last night. If you guys remember a couple weeks ago, the United States seized a tanker by the name of Wen Yao or Ajin. That tanker, surprisingly enough, and it was seized by the Marines. The Marines boarded the vessel, took it. I don't know what happened to it afterwards. No one did. I didn't find anything on it. Out of nowhere, that ship is back and just went straight through the blockade. So the first time it tried to go a couple weeks ago, they took the ship, they boarded it. No one knows what happened to it. But now, and no one's talking about this, by the way, the same ship went straight through the blockade in the dead of night last night. No one's talking about it. I don't understand. What changed? This
through the blockade the other way around, though.
Yeah, to enter.
Okay, so the blockade is one way, right? I think maybe the Americans are operating it.
Well, it seems like CENTCOM declared that no Iranian vessels would be traversing the blockade. I guess they didn't specify specifically.
Okay, but
either way.
Maybe it's under the control of the Americans?
So that's my theory. Did it dock in a port in Yemen? We can actually see in that picture that it's coming from the south there. I wasn't able to confirm anything more because if I show you guys this image, it just ends. It just starts right there. It had its transponder completely off, turns it on right off the coast of Oman, enters the blockade, and goes through. Did the Americans seize it? Did the Americans put weapons on it for the Iranian people? Did the Americans put troops on it? Is there something happening?
Why would it turn its transponders on if it's with the Islamic Republic? Like, oh, watch us go through your blockade. Like, I'm not.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Okay, so right. So I think it's probably controlled by the Americans.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? This ship just turns on its transponder here. It's sanctioned, by the way. It's had to change its name multiple times. It has shell companies, it has all that. They seized it. The Marines boarded, checked the vessel, took it. No one knows where it went or what happened to it. And now all of a sudden, as of last night, it appears out of nowhere and goes in.
Look, it only turns it on while going through the blockade. I think they turned it on so that everybody could see, like, hey, don't shoot at us. We're doing this. So I think it's controlled by, like, my guess is that the Americans are controlling it. Because why would it? If it's the Islamic Republic, why would you turn it on exactly when you're trying to do the dangerous thing of going through the blockade? Like, it makes no sense.
Exactly. So that could be something. If we see that in the future, guys, that's going to be something interesting that I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 other people on the entirety of the internet talking about. I thought people kept track, more of these vessels that were seized by the U.S., but I couldn't really find anything there. Speaking of U.S. action, I want to show you guys a couple of really cool clips before we get into the breaking news of tonight. So I've downloaded this video because I believe that that's a better way of being able to show you guys. And here it is. Pause it for you. So this is some dash cam footage inside of Iran. And this man's driving on the road, right? Just as you do at night. Maybe you're heading back home. And out of nowhere, he notices something that perhaps shouldn't be there. Let's check it out. Ooh. There it is, just on the side of the road. Wait,
Oh my god,
let's
that's what
watch that
something you do
again.
see every day. Imagine you're like driving and like, holy crap, what is that? Where is this?
I wasn't able to find which road this was on. This is just a clip that started circulating last night, coming out of Iran in various channels. So let's actually just watch that again. You're just coming out, and then I like how no one slowed down or pulled over or anything. Like if I saw that on the side of my screen, I would be like, that. Okay, that's a ballistic missile. Let's get the hell out of here. I don't know why I'm still here. Let's turn around or something. Didn't care. Just didn't care.
The missile is just launched. Honey, you won't believe what I just saw on my way home. I mean, I don't know. Is that a ballistic missile? Why is it just there, like on the side of the road?
It's just one of the launchers there. Yeah, they just hide the launchers.
Okay.
Let's go a quick little incursion into Russia before we go back to Iran, because it does actually tie into this. If you guys are wondering how Russia is doing, let's first show you another clip just like this while we talk about how Russia is actually doing. So this is a Russian air defense system, and that is a Ukrainian drone. What it's about to strike into is what they call Millberry, something berry warehouse, some sort of industrial zone for the Russians. And we can see that the Russians, at the very last possible moment, managed to pick up the drone, and that's the area it was about to hit. Now, this is one of their very rare interceptions, actually, in the city of St. Petersburg, but it's not looking so good for them. It's really, really not looking so good for the Russians. Here's what's happening. Marco Rubio just had an ASEAN summit in the Philippines. He talked about global shipping with all these different companies and countries. And Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister of the Russian Federation, who's usually so disrespectful and dismissive of the Americans, was actually begging Marco to meet with him. Throughout the entirety of the summit, people reported that he was trying to get his attention. And finally, Marco gives in. They go into a side room at the summit and they have a meeting, both staff. And staff actually were allowed to come in, press were allowed to come in and ask questions. And then Marco actually gets really pressured by Lavrov to kick them out. And so they get kicked out as well. So no press were present during the actual meeting, just right before it. Here's what's happening. I'm going to tie two things together. Zelensky is now scheduled to meet with Donald Trump next week, the same week that Benjamin Netanyahu is now once again scheduled to come back to the White House. And that's just a few days after Marco meets with Sergei Lavrov in the Philippines. Zelensky has stated that he is word for word ready to sign a peace agreement and that it's completely depending on Donald Trump. Lavrov met with Marco Rubio, I believe, to give him the red lines and the limits of what Russia is able to accept in this meeting. And it seems like they do want to make some sort of peace agreement. And I believe Marco has now presented them to Donald Trump. So let's see this next week whether or not we actually start wrapping up the Russia-Ukraine war, because it's been about 4 years now that this is going on, with about 30,000 soldiers on both sides dying every single month, making it an extremely deadly conflict. Both countries are exhausted completely. The Russian economy is scheduled to completely collapse within 18 months, and the Russian front line is scheduled to collapse within the next 5 months. So that makes total sense that the Russians want to seek some sort of diplomatic agreement here. Along with that, if we go to the Caspian Sea on the northern coast of Iran, we can see that there was a strike by the US on something very, let's just say, interesting. Let's read this first. Donald Trump came out today. He gave a warning to China and Russia. Now, why would he do that right now? he had a meeting. Okay, he said, I met with President Xi. I spoke with President Putin about the war and about the, this and that. They both agreed we will not give weapons or help the Islamic Republic. So Russia, China, not helping the Islamic Republic. That's what they told Trump. That's what they told him. Was that the truth? No, it was not the truth. American intelligence has found proof that both countries have assisted the Islamic Republic, and President Trump, with some interesting timing here, has issued another warning today to both China and Russia in particular, because if we go back to this area right here, last night, American intelligence, why it's not loading in, last night, American intelligence was able to locate a Russian weapons shipment, as reported by many people, that was coming in via the Caspian Sea, which shares a border with Russia, into Iran. And that weapons shipment was struck. The governor of this area said that this port was indeed struck. It's all over Iranian media. Iran International confirmed this. They said there was 2 wounded. So it seems like they might even have been in the process of loading these weapons up. What a signal to send to Russia and China, perhaps right before they begin an operation to, hey, stay out of it. What do you think about Russia and China? Do you think at this point the Islamic Republic is still providing them significant value? Do you think they'll come in and help?
I mean, significant value, not they're so useful for China and Russia. For China, their highest priority is to keep United States busy in the Middle East, and the Islamic Republic falling and Iran having a government that is an ally of United States would be devastating for the CCP. It would free up so much of United States resources to focus on its main threat, the CCP, right? And Russia is also very important. I mean, both of them are the biggest enemies of United States, at least from a military perspective, right? From a military perspective. I mean, also Russia right now is desperate to stop United States supporting Ukraine with weapons through the European countries. So they could make deals with United States that we will continue supporting the Islamic Republic for as long as you're supporting Ukraine. So that's the pressure that Russia is putting on United States. And the CCP is terrified of United States dominance around its own neighborhood. So it really very much is interested in keeping American military resources busy in the Middle East. So both of the Islamic Republic are absolutely very useful for Russia and the CCP. And they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop supporting the Islamic Republic. There's no way they're going to stop.
And also,
they're not going to come support the Islamic Republic as in sending troops into head-to-head confrontational war with United States. Like, they're not going to do that. They're not worth that much. Okay. But they are, for China and Russia, they are worth, some support.
Yeah.
For them, they see it as that.
Absolutely. You could even say that IRGC are technically, depending on what perspective you look at, a proxy of the CCP or Russia even.
Oh, definitely.
So
the IRGC is a proxy of the CCP and Putin.
And that's why the Islamic Republic is just one of the first dominoes that are to fall in the upcoming world war to be, or even combating against the CCP in the future. The Islamic Republic has to go. It has to go completely. It has to turn into a country that's completely allied with the West, with the United States in particular. And as I've been saying for a while now, I would really like to see that happen sooner than later, so CENTCOM can establish its headquarters in eastern Iran here, giving it a complete curtain to draw, not against both Russia, but also China, when it comes to one of the most mineral-rich areas on the planet, in terms of electronics. If we're looking at just, hey, let's follow the, CNN, BBC, New York Times, or Fox News, just the mainstream media, and we're focusing in on the explosions themselves, we're only getting a part of the picture, in my opinion. We zoom out, we actually see the Islamic Republic is a just step in the way for the Pentagon and the United States plan. They draw plans for 20, 30, 40 years in the future. These plans are carried out in increments, and it is no coincidence that the United States has come here to the Middle East once again and bringing in more and more and more refueling tankers every single day. A significant number of tankers this time of KC-135s have they've come all the way from Hawaii to European waters and CENTCOM as well. So we're drawing as many forces as we possibly can into the Middle East. If we reach 100 refueling tankers, I'll give you guys some perspective. We're about to reach it, I think, any day now, maybe tomorrow, maybe today even. I'm not sure how many of them have their transponders off. So, by the way, that line that you're seeing, that's roughly the route of the B-1 bomber that it takes to come into the Islamic Republic, which it conducted operations last night. So when they conduct bombings, when CENTCOM does bombings on the southern coast, they have about, last night they had about 7 refueling tankers with their transponders on. Let's just bump that number up by another 10, and let's just say 17. So 17 refueling tankers are about the average to conduct these heavy strikes. We got 100 now. That is some 24-hour around-the-clock operations that's potentially coming up. And that's not counting the Israelis that are also going to be joining in. One thing that we did manage to see was here in Bulgaria. Something interesting has happened. So we told you guys a couple days ago that the Islamic Republic threatened Bulgaria, of all countries. They said, hey, you guys, we see that you guys have U.S. troops there. We see that you have 8 refueling tankers of the United States Air Force. We're going to come for you. We're going to strike you. We're going to blow you up. And that spooked the Bulgarians. So they went into parliament and actually voted. Should we kick out the U.S. troops? Should we keep them in? They voted overwhelmingly in favor of keeping U.S. troops and refueling tankers in the country. I think the vote was like 6-1 in terms of favor. So it was like 138 to like 24 no's. And Donald Trump has come out on Truth Social and thanked the Bulgarian president for, this act, making him an example. So Prime Minister, actually, not the president, Prime Minister Radev, making him an example to other European leaders of, doing a good job here and letting the U.S. Do what it needs to do. In terms of the other logistics of the Middle East, there was actually something else interesting. So the Qatar base, we've told you guys, the Al Udeid base is now completely gone of aircraft. There's no aircraft anymore. We saw 40 refueling tankers just 2 weeks ago. They're all gone, and they've been evacuated at a faster rate than before Operation Epic Fury. Same thing with a lot of planes in Saudi Arabia. I actually did not expect this when I found out last night that we're moving a lot of planes out from the Prince Sultan Air Base near Riyadh all the way back to a couple of the Israeli and Jordanian air bases. So we have one, the Ramon Air Base in southern Israel, Ben Gurion, a lot of the Jordanian military bases that we're using again. And that's why some of them have had to go to Bulgaria. Why is it that we evacuated even our Saudi aircraft in the bases there? It's because the U.S. isn't completely sure if Saudi Arabia is going to change its mind last second and say, hey, you can't use our airspace, you can't use our bases again. The U.S. is preparing for that possibility and not completely trusting, and learned its lesson from Saudi Arabia, and has prepared itself for that possibility once again. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, let's wait hear what Donald Trump has to say about the Saudis and the nuclear deal.
The whole thing blows up. So did he get out ahead of you, or what happened there?
No, nobody got out ahead. I mean, I just say that in order to do it, they have to be member of the Abraham Accords, which have been very successful. But it's time now that they do it. They and others didn't want to do it because of the problem that they had with Iran. You don't have that problem anymore. You don't have a great power there anymore. You have a problem, but the problem is disappearing day by day. They were the bully of the Middle East. They were not going to be that much of a bully anymore. Probably, I think, instinctively want to be. But you don't have the same problem that you would have had 4 or 5 months ago before they had no navy, no military, no anti-aircraft, no leaders. I mean, their leaders are gone. A lot of things have changed with respect to that country. So, no, we want them to, it's a two-way street, and we think it's very important for the future of the Middle East. The Abraham Accords have been incredibly successful for
Armin, the Abraham Accords.
Again.
So Saudi's getting a nuclear program in exchange for joining the Abraham Accords. Armin, what is the Abraham Accords?
Abraham Accords is an agreement between Israel and Arab and or Islamic countries in the region to normalize relations. And the actual goal of that, to summarize, is to have a united front in the Middle East against the Islamic Republic. And President Trump started this in his first term and has been expanding to more and more countries. The key Bahrain and UAE are part of it. So Bahrain and UAE have normalized relationship with Israel. Sudan is there as well. So it's actually the countries that are on this list just a few years ago, just before it happened, were unimaginable for people to think like Arab Islamic countries will agree to come to a deal with Israel and normalize relationship with them. This is one of the greatest achievements of President Trump. And during these military operations, it led to not just normalization, but to the point where UAE considers now Israel an ally, not just normalization, and openly thanked Israel for giving them the Iron Dome to protect UAE against the Islamic Republic missile attacks, which is crazy to even think about that we're here.
And we're here. And it looks like Trump even said, well, that problem's no more, signaling that perhaps there is much more to come with the Abraham Accords. Now, before Senator Lindsey Graham died, unfortunately, he did predict this. He said a couple of things were going to happen. If the Islamic Republic, or if the MOU fails, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Strait of Hormuz by force. So it looks like that's about to happen. Then they're going to make Saudi Arabia join the Abraham Accords. Looks like that's also about to happen. And then they're going to slowly choke out the Islamic Republic. And if they contest the Strait of Hormuz, finish them off. So we've seen the biggest changes in the Middle East that we've seen potentially in, I mean, you could even say a couple thousand years, but let's just pick modern history. For the past 50 years, this is the biggest change after the Islamic Revolution of 1979. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a turning point in the history of the Middle East. I think in the future, if you look back at these moments, this will be referred to as something like the Berlin Wall. And honestly, I know some people might think I'm exaggerating, but bigger than the Berlin Wall. This is a Berlin Wall moment that you guys are all witnessing. And your grandchildren will look back at you one day and be like, "Oh, where were you? Like, what were you thinking when this happened? Like, where were you? Like, when eventually, the Islamic Republic fell, what led to it?" You guys are going, "Oh, I remember a few months before this happened, then a few months before this happened. I remember watching this stream, leaving these comments." So this is one of those major turning points, and so try to remember how it's every day of it, because you're going to come back to this for so many decades after.
Yeah. And so if this happens, the Saudis join the Abraham Accords, it signals to the rest of the Arab world, hey, it's okay to make peace with Israel and join. Then Israel, along with this massive coalition, finishes off the Islamic Republic. The United States spearheads it. The Middle East finally may see peace for the first time in actually well, since humanity's beginning, since it was the cradle of civilization. But with that, the US can move back to Pacific oceans and focus on China. I think Europe's pretty much a lost cause at this point, but there's very interesting things happening with the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is scheduled to meet with the United States next week to discuss sending minesweepers or even additional warships to assist the United States for once. They have a new prime minister, and the new prime minister, I'm not too well versed on the internal politics of the UK. I think Nail Bunny's good to talk about that, but he seems to have mysteriously appeared out of nowhere and is now fully agreeing to what Donald Trump needs. So if we just, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but Keir Starmer was against all of this. He was quickly taken out, right? The king had a meeting with Donald Trump. Shortly after, Keir Starmer resigns from Prime Minister of the UK. There's a new Prime Minister who is now very much, yes, we should finish off the Islamic Republic. Let's send in minesweepers and let's let them use the Diogo Garcia, which is a very important thing. That's the base in the Indian Ocean there. And I'm thinking, what happened? I don't get it. The UK just did a full 180 in terms of their policy on the Islamic Republic. They've even prescribed the IRGC as a terrorist organization recently. So that's, some interesting things happening all around the world behind the scenes that are pointing to us going off and finishing the Islamic Republic. Guys, I'm not an evil scientist. This is just things that are happening that I'm seeing. With that, let's go back to the map here. We covered Saudi Arabia for you guys. There's something that happened in Iraq. And it seems like some pretty important figures of the Islamic Republic were seen in Iraq last night. I don't know. I mean, you guys have to take a look. I think we see Ali Khamenei there, and perhaps Mojtaba Khamenei as well, the current supreme leader of the Islamic Republic. I'm not too sure what's going on, but looks like the Iraqis are taking them out for a walk. And don't ask me what any of this is. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know what it means. But it looks fun, I think. Right, guys? There he is.
Okay. Wait, can you go back? Can you hear what the chant is?
Oh, yeah. Something Sayyid Mujtaba. I don't know.
So they're saying to support the Mahdi, you need to support Mujtaba.
Oh boy.
If you want to be on the Mahdi side, you need to be on the Mujtaba side, which is kind of strange because in Shia Islamic theology, I mean, and the Khomeini version of it at least, the whole point of having the guardianship of the jurist is to have a representative of the imam in hiding. If the imam of your time, if he is in hiding, he needs a representative. And that's the supreme leader. That's the Wali Faqih, the guardian of the guardianship of the jurist. But here's the question. What if the representative of the hidden imam is hidden himself? So if we follow the logic of the book Guardianship of the Jurist by Khomeini that led to the theology behind the Islamic Republic, a hidden imam of the time that needs a representative, which will be the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic, if the Wali Faqih himself is also in hiding, do we need a representative of the hidden representative of the hidden Mahdi?
So, Armin, are you saying that Shia Islam ideology is dependent on the 12th Imam, the Mahdi, Is that correct?
Oh yeah, the entire constitution is based on is written
And
based on that.
the 12th Imam, the Mahdi, is a master of hide and seek, right? So he fell down a well a
Global
thousand
champion.
years ago.
Global champion.
And so basically,
Yeah,
Shia Islam
a lot of
revolves
people
over
say.
the fact.
Let me just clarify this. A lot of people think it's Bigfoot, the championship, the champion of hide and seek, global champion of hide and seek. It's not. It's the Mahdi. But go on, say.
So the Mahdi was an imam, right? He's like the leader of Shia Islam, and he fell down a well, and no one
Twice.
ever saw him again.
Twice.
Oh,
Fell
right,
down a well.
twice. So he actually didn't learn a lesson. So he fell down the well twice. No one ever saw him again. But then the Shias believe that he will one day come back and rule the world, right?
Obviously.
And so Shia
Duh.
Islam, so the Islamic Republic is waiting for that to happen, right? And they're like, oh my God, okay. But then you're also saying that their own supreme leader right now is also nowhere to be seen in a master of hide and seek.
Well, I mean, he's not as good at. I mean, he only had a few months now, so let's chill out. Like, let's cool it down a little bit.
True.
Master, I wouldn't say. Like, hasn't been even a year.
It's true. No one's seen him for a few months, so maybe he's not a master yet. But we'll see about that soon. Just interesting. It seems like their ideology is kind of stupid.
I mean, if you had somebody that is this good at hide and seek, would you not follow him? I mean, it's pretty. Isn't that the best metric? Who do we make the leader?
Best hide and seek leader ever.
So here's a question for the chat. Guys, in the chat, answer this. Who is the head of state according to the Constitution of the Islamic Republic? Who is the head of state? Oh, yeah, people got it. Oh, somebody's saying Pezeshkian.
They got it?
No. Oh, somebody's saying the supreme leader. No. Yeah, people got it. Some people got it. A lot of people think it's the supreme leader. It's not. It's the Mahdi.
Yes, who died over 1,000 years ago.
It's the hidden imam.
He's hidden. I wish people would talk about me like that when I pass away. Yeah, he's not gone. He's just hidden.
Isn't that crazy? According to the Constitution of the Islamic Republic, written in the Constitution, a kid that fell down a well around, 1,200 years ago is the head of state, according to the Constitution of the Islamic Republic. No, guys, not the Guardian Council. It's the Mahdi.
That's not weird. You don't make children your eternal leader out there? Anyone in other countries? No? Okay. Apparently we only have one country in the world that does that.
So
real quick.
Let me just read
Yeah, go for it.
Let me read this to you. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, the Islamic Republic constitutionally defines Imam Mahdi as the true divinely appointed sovereign and the head of country. So, sorry, head of country, not head of state. The supreme leader exercises operational governance over the regime in Iran strictly as an interim deputy awaiting the Mahdi's return. So, in Iran, according to the Islamic Republic, the supreme leader is not the ultimate authority. The ultimate authority is the Mahdi. Okay, sovereignty does not belong to the people or the supreme leader. It belongs to the Mahdi, and the supreme leader is only governing as an interim deputy of the Mahdi. There you go.
There we go. That's their entire ideology, and somehow it's really attractive for the Democrats and the leftists, and apparently a lot of people who think that's completely okay.
You know, there are so many people around the world that have end of times narratives, but none of them got serious enough to put it in their constitution, right? To build the entire structure of their government based on this end of time narrative.
You know, you guys might think that their stupidity ends there. No. Let's show you guys why it doesn't end there. Let's go to the map here. Let's take a look at the bases. So guys, again, here, southwest of Iran, one of the only places you can launch a land invasion via Iraq into Iran. And we're seeing a continuation of heavy bombardment of the military bases here. Last night, from NASA satellites, we can see, if you see those red boxes, that's actually big fires. So every time from a NASA satellite, you see a red box, it's indication of a fire. So it looks like this is where one of the bombing runs of the United States was last night, and they're particularly hitting these border bases pretty hard. The other place that they're hitting, so that was here, southwest. Another place they were hitting pretty hard was here near Isfahan. We actually zoom into this airport. It's actually in the middle of quite literally nowhere, and it's a military airport for the IRGC. This was also struck, and many of the buildings were destroyed along with its radar system. So we're able to pinpoint the damages that have come out onto multiple military bases of the Islamic Republic, which is suggesting if we're hitting these, particularly the air bases and the radar systems, we are preparing for something big. We were able to hear today through Shin that if we go all the way to the northeast of Iran, this city, resting on the foothills of the Alborz Mountains, was also hit and struck. Seems like one of the missile cities, perhaps in the hillsides there. That makes it pretty far into Iran if we think about it. It's all the way across. And we did just tell you that the radar sites in the central area of Iran have now largely been taken out as of last night and of this week. It does seem like the US is quietly achieving aerial supremacy over Iran with each passing night. Makes more sense to me for that to be the objective, because if we take a look back at the southern coast bombardments, of which tonight we actually have a lot of, so show you guys what's happening right now. We have confirmed explosions once again here, particularly in the narrowest point of the Strait of Hormuz, on this elevated coastal site called Sirik. My thought was, okay, we've struck this for 2 weeks, right? And the strikes have crept up over Iran quietly. Most people aren't really covering just how deep the strikes have been going and why they're significant, but we wanted to get that to you guys. Effectively, at this moment, we pretty much largely should nearly have control of the Strait of Hormuz in terms of any rocket launchers that can be launched from this area. At this point, I think the United States is nearing that objective, and it's now starting to destroy the radars that are much more closer to the north and central parts, particularly around Isfahan, where Pickaxe Mountain is. It's been struck quite heavily yesterday by the B-1. The last time the US strikes these missile cities entrances, the radar sites, the missile bases, the Islamic Republic came in after the 40-day war and they rebuilt. And they actually successfully rebuilt a lot of their blown up missile city entrances and other such things. It seems like the US has probably learned from its lesson this time. And if I were to bet, if I was a betting man, I would say sooner than later, something will be happening, because they do not want to give a chance for the Islamic Republic to once again allow missiles to come out of these missile cities. We can't reach them down there. We can close the entrances, which is an effective tactic and a very low cost as well. And what I largely believe will happen to Pickaxe Mountain, and not a tactical nuke, as many American military analysts believe we should drop. I'm not a proponent of dropping a tactical nuke over the city of Isfahan. I think that's completely crazy and out of the picture, even if it does have minimal fallout. Because if I know anything from physics, it is not going to level the mountain. It's 400, 500 feet deep. And unless you pounded this hillside with bunker busters in the same spot repeatedly and managed to drop the 30, 50-ton nuke right into that hole, I don't think it'll do much. Now we'll see. I think political capitulation is going to be the way for that. Armin, do you have any thoughts about the strikes that we've been seeing, or even Pickaxe Mountain? They've been getting more extensive.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing on Pickaxe Mountain yet, right? So
Not yet, no.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still don't know what the plan is with Pickaxe Mountain. Why do you think a tactical nuke is out of the question? Because I only can find one argument so far, which is bricks a taboo, and it would normalize using it, and it will open the ability for Russia and China to use it as well, especially Russia right now against Ukraine.
That is the only
Is that-
reason.
That is the only
Not only
reason?
would it give China, not only would it give Russia a reason to start using them, might also give China a reason to start using them on Taiwan. I don't know if that's a risk they're willing to take.
Yeah. Dom in the chat is saying, yes, nukes set a precedent. So, yeah. What do you think they're going to do about Pickaxe Mountain? Because there's only 5 options, right? Tactical nukes, bunker busters on top of each other, digging basically. I don't know how possible that is. Jeffrey was saying in our group chat that might not work because the way you do the first bunker buster, then everything slides back in and fills it up. I don't know if that's
exactly
the case or not. But multiple bunker busters, one after the other one, basically doing a digging operation with bombs. Second option. Third option, ground operations, special units going in and doing the job. Seems very unlikely, puts Americans at great risk. Fourth option, a deal, seems very unlikely because the Islamic Republic is very difficult to see how the Islamic Republic would give that up. Fifth option, which is my favorite, is regime change.
The fifth option is an option that military analysts do not keep in mind, and I don't blame them. They're military analysts. But from the ones that I've watched, the ground invasion is the least likely option. It would actually require... So let me show you guys. So Pickaxe Mountain, let's just zoom in on a random piece of mountain here. Pickaxe Mountain is designed in a way that has multiple layers of security with different bases, each hosting up to 1,000 troops each, multiple layers of defenses that are interconnected, watchtowers, vantage points. If you want to launch a ground operation against Pickaxe Mountain, you would require at the very minimum 2,000 very elite U.S. troops. So that would be Ranger battalions or special forces at the very minimum, with perfect air cover. There can be no mistakes on that front. During this time, it would still take days, if not weeks, for equipment to arrive and excavate, and for scientists and etc., which means intense aerial and drone bombardment of these forces. They estimate a 95% casualty rate on this operation. So out of the 2,000, maybe 100 survive, another 1,900 troops die, the best and the bravest of the American forces. It's largely ruled out of the picture there. The tactical nuke, as we just discussed, might greenlight other countries to start using it. I mean, there could be some other unforeseen events. No one's used a nuke in a long time. The regime change option is the one not discussed, and it is the best option without a single doubt. that achieves every single objective the United States wants in the Middle East, not just Iran, in the Middle East. The most likely option, the one that we're probably going to see, is the aerial bombing of the Pickaxe Mountain. It's very, very low risk to just close the entrances of the tunnels here. The way that would happen is the B-1B Lancer comes in, drops ordnance, along with the B-52 following, and then the B-2 coming up at the end. Each B-2 can carry 2 30,000-pound bunker busters, and those will be the final finishing blows. You will have to stack a lot of them together. You will have to create bigger blasts into the side of the mountain. You will have to target all of the air vents, all of the electrical generators with EMPs and etc. At the end of the day, that's much less risky than, risking American lives on the ground there. So that's probably what we're going to see happen, is what I've seen a lot of the aerial experts on the U.S. military say. But people like us, because we're more politically sided, of course we want the regime change option. And we have our own roadmap laid out to that. It's rather clear. And a lot of the things that we've seen so far are working. Seems like we can just, put our feet on the gas pedal a little bit harder from now on. But also, Armeni's objective is to not have the Iranian people suffer needlessly, which is definitely happening as a result of the IRGC's warmongering. I'm going to take a quick look at the news here. It looks like the Iraqi capital has some special forces pouring into the streets again with armored vehicles. Looks like some massive arrests are going to take place, along with, that's probably going to take place as well. I saw earlier that one of the IRGC affiliated militias in Iraq were actually targeted tonight. Rather the day of the Middle East. So tonight, this evening for us. I don't know what the result for that ended up being. It's probably still ongoing. It comes right after Al-Zaidi come back from Tehran, which is interesting. I think it's time to go to the stupidest question of the day award, which goes to this reporter here.
Oh my God.
Let's take a listen.
No. Brace yourself.
Ask you one other question. Sure. Just playing devil's advocate. Why does Saudi Arabia get a civilian nuclear deal, but Iran doesn't get a civilian nuclear deal?
Well, again,
we don't even need to answer. We don't need to listen to the answer there. Guys, who is this person? Who is that guy? Someone get him. Get him out. Fire him.
He said devil's advocate, so maybe it's for the sake of clear putting it out there. Maybe he wants, I don't know, but that hurts. I know he said devil's advocate, but that hurts. Oh no.
Gee, I don't know. Maybe because Saudi Arabia isn't threatening to kill everyone on the planet and nuke Israel and the United States and Europe. But
God.
That's a good point. It's a good devil advocate point. Yep. I was watching that. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe he asked that question. I was like, dude, do you guys see the level of press in this is the White House. Who let this guy in? This is the standards?
We say that as a people that we don't want Saudi Arabia to have access to civil nuclear facilities either, okay? But that is not the same as the Islamic Republic. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
It's pretty bad. So now that we've got the stupidest question out of the day out of the way, let's go to.
But let me say something though, okay? The Saudis might not be interested in global domination and building an Islamic empire and defeating Western hegemony, right? But they rule over people who do want that. Okay, they rule over a lot of people who want that, and they want to take down the Saudis and bring the beginning of an Islamic caliphate in the same way that ISIS was trying to do, right? So even if the Saudis are not interested in that, Saudi Arabia is not 100% stable, and we could have an Islamic revolution in Saudi Arabia similar to what we had in 1979, especially given that Saudi Arabia is going through a modernization, westernization attempt, not similar to what the Shah was doing, because what the Shah was doing was more fundamental, but similar enough to cause an Islamic revolution like that. And then now you have given nuclear facilities to a bunch of Durka jihadis in charge of, Saudi Arabia. And that's why the Saudis, even if the Saudis turn into one of the best allies of the United States, you do not give them nuclear facilities. You do not, because you don't know who's eventually going to be in charge there.
Yeah. Trump did say no nuclear enrichment for Saudi, but I wouldn't be surprised if, down the line, 10 years, 20 years.
You don't need enriched uranium to make a nuclear bomb. If you have nuclear facilities, you will get the path to having nuclear bombs.
Very true. Okay, I'm waiting for... It seems like the explosions have been very sparse tonight. We only saw some southern coast and then one strike at a missile city in the northeast. Nothing too crazy. Now, last night, the strikes did continue, or actually pick up right when we ended the stream, so it actually ended up being a lot later than usual. We'll end up seeing if that's the case. Oh, yes. Speaking of, we have a scoop. We have a scoop for you guys. Does anyone remember Vahidi? So, according to the Times of Israel, and here reported by Shin, you guys remember Pakistan has a military chief, Asim Munir, and the IRGC's commander-in-chief of sorts is Ahmad Vahidi. And actually, so a few months ago, according to the Times of Israel, Vahidi and Asim Munir made a deal together. The deal was, hey, listen, we both personally make a lot of money if we just, tell our troops and our governments, hey, let's send oil through some pipelines, through some, trains and trucks into Pakistan. Pakistan gets oil because they really needed it and they were suffering from it. And let's just make some money, but just us. Not the rest of the IRGC. It goes to our personal bank accounts. And in return, what Asim Munir is doing, because he wants to continue making money, is he's putting pressure on... Where did I even put this? I completely lost where it went. There we go. He's putting pressure on Saudi Arabia. He's putting pressure on the Houthis. He doesn't want the Islamic Republic to tell the Houthis to attack Saudi Arabia, because Asim Munir has a arrangement with Saudi Arabia. They have a defensive alliance. If you attack us, we'll attack them together. So what ends up happening is now that arrangement is being strained and jeopardized, because Munir is like, hey man, you're part of the IRGC. We know you're warmongering. You're telling the Houthis to start attacking Saudi. We don't like that. It's going to mess everything up for us. And looks like that story came to light according to the Times of Israel. So whether that's completely true or not, I wouldn't be too surprised. It's not like these two people, Vahidi or Munir, are the most upright, honest, and upstanding men of the world. And the IRGC are known to be a mafia organization forever. In terms of other slightly ridiculous reports, we also have the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times reporting that, citing U.S. intelligence, like this is some sort of crazy scoop. This has been catching fire on mainstream media today. They're saying, hey guys, Mojtaba Khamenei, the new leader of the Islamic Republic, Yeah, he actually wants nuclear weapons more than his father, Ali Khamenei. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, he's actually more radical. Yeah. I don't know why this is catching so much traction and why people think this is such a crazy thing. You could have just came to our stream, would have told you how bogus this sounds for it to be such a scoop. If Mojtaba's alive, by the way. If he is alive. And lastly, I have another scoop that we have. You guys remember back on July 9th, we told you that neither the US or Israel claimed responsibility for the strikes on that night. That was the night where everyone's like, hey, we didn't do it. We know who did it. So it's actually Bahrain and Kuwait sending their fighter jets to drop ordnance on IRGC targets. And we told you that the night of. We're like, hey, if it's not the US and Israel, it's undoubtedly the Persian Gulf Arab countries, maybe even the UAE, but we did say Kuwait and Bahrain. So turns out that that was correct. And let's go back to the map here. So
Wait.
We got, yeah.
Something is playing in my ear. I'm going to try to fix it, but keep going.
Okay. Gotcha. And again, the Bahraini deal was also reported to be from the Wall Street Journal. Let's go to an explosion. I'm going to show you guys the explosion first. And then for anyone that can't see, you're going to have to guess to see where this explosion is. So, explosion of the day guess. Let's see what you guys guess.
Shit.
Where is this? Where is that?
Shit.
Anyone take a guess? Let's see. Someone's saying Yemen. Anyone else? Come on. One more guess. Oh, Armin's back.
I had
I'll
to
play it one more
close
time.
my browser.
Yeah.
It was just playing, and like I had to close everything to be able to make it stop playing that into my ear. What is this?
This is guess where the explosion is. So I'm going to play this
Oh,
explosion, and you're
Ukraine.
going to try to guess
No,
where
Russia.
this is.
Russia.
Okay.
Russia.
We got Nebraska, we got Russia, we got
Oh.
Yemen, Jordan.
Not
Okay,
Yemen.
some Roman cabbage. Roman cabbage cheated. He told the truth.
Too green.
This-
Too green for Yemen.
This is in England. This is in Essex, England. This explosion was reported today. Yep.
Why?
I don't know, but it's like some industrial explosion. Now, I'm not sure what had the power to explode that massively in England, but that happened. In
What?
other news, I'm not going to show you the video of it, but the south of France is also on fire. So, moving on from that. So this area is currently on fire and the sky is red and black. But yeah, that's pretty much all European news. We also got Russia covered as well. And yep. Armin, what do you have for us?
Ooh. Okay. I have some. How did you know I have something?
I looked down into the studio.
Oh, okay. Look at that cover. Okay, so I'm gonna play you this video. But look at okay, guys. So in Iran, you're not gonna believe this. The head of what is it? The former minister of oil came out and said something about Mossad, and this video is going viral. All of a sudden he came out and he's telling people his memory of Mossad operating inside Iran not now, a couple of years ago. You gotta watch this. So look at this. So let me play it.
عزیزان من یه چی بگم خدمتتون شاید باورتون نشه.
Like, my dears, let me tell you something you're not gonna believe. Ali, have you seen this? No? Okay.
No, I've not seen this.
Okay, so this is gonna be a treat. Okay, watch this.
در بهمن ماه 1402
So he's giving the date. It's around 3 years ago. Okay, so this is 3 years ago.
شما 10 خط آیگت سراسری گاز دارید.
So he said there are 10 lines. There are 10 national lines of gas. Okay,
Like pipelines?
gas lines, like pipeline or gas lines, or yeah, something. 10 of them. So 10 main ones.
آیگت سراسری گاز دارید. 10 تا شبکه 10 تا خط لوله قطور 56 اینچ گاز که گاز جنوبی که
So these are 10 pipes, part of a network, and they're thick. They're thick pipes, and basically the 10 main ones in the country.
هیچ گاز که گاز
So he's giving how big, yeah.
10 تا شبکه 10 تا خط لوله قطور 56 اینچ گاز که گاز
56-inch gas pipes.
جنوب کشور رو میاره مرکز و شمال کشور.
So it connects the south of Iran to central Iran to north Iran.
10 تا خط سراسری دارید.
There's 10 of them.
در یک شب از ساعت 1 دشمن اولین تلفن خود من اومد.
So he's saying one night the enemy started calling on my own phone, personal phone, 1 a.m. in the morning.
زنگ زدن گفتن امشب ما میخوایم آتش بازی کنیم.
He said they called me. They said tonight we want to do some fireworks. Tonight we're gonna have some fun. So this is the Mossad calling the Ministry of Oil in the Islamic Republic. Mossad is on the phone talking to him in Persian, saying, we're gonna play a game tonight. We're gonna have some fireworks. Before they do anything, they called him. Guys, before they do anything, they called this man. Okay?
فلانی 3 به اضافه 5 چند میشه؟
So they ask him on the phone, what's 3 plus 5? 3 plus 5.
پای تلفن من گفتم 8. گفت خط
So I told him 8.
8 تو زدیم همادا.
Like, we just blew up line number 8. Mossad is calling this man on the phone. He's like, what's 3 plus 5? And he says 8. You're like, we just blew up line 8.
شاید 5 دقیقه نشد دوستان تو دیسپچینگ گاز به من زنگ زدن.
And like, how many minutes? 5 minutes after, the people from our dispatch, our friends from dispatch called me.
شاید 5 دقیقه نشد دوستان تو دیسپچینگ گاز به من زنگ زدن. گفتن آقای وزیر خط 8 ما منفجر شده.
So 5 minutes after this man called me, dispatch called me and said line 8 has been blown up. So they told him first. 5 minutes after, it blew up.
بالاخره منم سابقه داشتم در شرکت ملی گاز در دولت دهمم مدیر عامل شرکت ملی گاز بودم. من تو لباس
So he's talking about his experience and the things that his expertise in this manner.
پوشیدم حرکت کنم بیام تلفن دو
Oh, okay. Wait, what happened? He said, okay, go back.
من تو لباس پوشیدم حرکت کنم بیام تلفن دوم زد.
Like, I put on my clothes to go and see what's happening. My phone called again.
از من سوال که 4 به اضافه 5 چند میشه گفتم.
So they called me again and they said, what's 4 plus 5? He said, what's 4 plus 5? And I said 9.
هم 9 گفت خط 9 تا منفجر کرد.
Like, we're blowing up line 9.
Why is he like having fun talking about it? Look at him. It's like one of his biggest failures ever.
Yeah. So guys,
Let me tell you guys a story.
Mossad is calling the Minister of Oil in Iran and saying,
His personal
what's
phone.
4 plus his personal phone? Like, hey, buddy, what's 4 plus 5? He's like 9. We're gonna blow. We just blew up line 9. Check it out.
من تو خودم و دیسپچینگ شرکت گاز رسوندم 3 تا خط ما سه تا خط 56 اینچ توی بهمن ماه 1000
Like, as you know, by the time I got to dispatch, 3 of our lines were basically blown up like this, basically with the same process.
He answered
3 lines.
another math question.
Yes, 3 lines, 56 is like 3 56-inch pipes were blown up like this by the time I got to dispatch.
402 مردم عزیز.
Yeah, but Sarah's saying he's making Mossad look good, so good. Yeah, I know. He's making okay.
تا رسیدم تو دیسپچینگ، حالا شروع میکرد به خود دیسپچینگ تماس گرفتن، معلوم بود از حالا سمت موسادم بودن دیگه.
Oh, see, he's mentioning the name. It was Mossad. It's like by the time I got to dispatching, they started contacting dispatching instead. Like, so they were on the phone with them. Now Mossad, like, oh, okay, you're there. We're gonna call dispatch. So they were now Mossad was I don't know that after that they were still Mossad was on the phone with them. This is so crazy.
دیگه بالاخره حسب تجاربی که بود لطف خدا توسط
Oh, see, guys, those are the pipe that he's talking about, the 56-inch pipes.
و ائمه شروع کردیم. اولا از همه تمام صنایع نیروگاه رو بردیم رو سوخت مایع.
So then he now talks about what they did after to try to fix everything, right? So, you know, we played this on the Persian channel, and I was asking, like, why did you keep answering? Like,
Yeah.
maybe if you didn't answer the math question, he wouldn't blow it up. Like, or maybe like, given that you have 10 lines, maybe if he said what's 4 plus 5, you should have said 12. Like, I got you. There is no 12. Are you gonna go blow up? So, this guy just kept on answering math questions. So maybe try not answering them. I don't know. But it's so like, here's the thing, Ali. Doesn't this make Mossad look so good? Like, we are so confident that we could even give you a head start, telling you what we're about to do, and you still can't do anything about it. Like, we have, like, how are they blowing it? You know why this is crazy? Because this is not like a air operation or anything. This is 3 years ago. Years ago. So they must have had agents on the ground there, right? So this is a more complicated operation. And then they're still giving them a heads up that, hey, we're going to blow this up in 5 minutes. And they were so confident that they were telling them. So here's 2 questions for you. And let me see what you guys in the chat think. Okay, 2 questions. First of all, why would Mossad do this? Are they bored? Is this just like, let's make our job more interesting? Question number 1. Question number 2, why is he admitting this? Why are they publishing this? Doesn't this make Mossad look like amazing? Wouldn't this go against all of the narratives that we're winning this war? These people are losers. They can't do anything. We're destroying them. We're decimating them. Like, it doesn't give us ammunition to show, like, guys, for even before the 40-day war, even before the 12-day war, they had this much dominance over Iran. They could do anything. They could do anything they want. Guys, I kid you not. Before all of this started, before most of you have been following what's happening in Iran, Mossad, go look at the story. Mossad arrested somebody inside Iran. And they questioned him inside Iran, recorded his confessions, and then let him go. Did you guys know this? This happened a few years ago. Mossad arrested somebody inside Iran, asked him questions, recorded it, and then let him go and released the video of. Oh, there we go. So why admit this? Why put this out? And why would Mossad do that? These are the questions. What do you think?
Here's my guess. It's not an external signal to other countries. It's an internal signal.
But why put it publicly out there?
For other people in the regime to see that Mossad is infiltrated to this extent. They have to be, they can point fingers and, all that stuff.
I mean, they know. The regime officials know. The regime officials already know this information. So why is this? Why make this public to their own?
When did he say this? Like today, yesterday, kind of thing? He said this recently.
Yes. This
okay,
is
so probably just for some, what do you call it? Not like proof or evidence, but like rationale, like allowing them to start blaming people? What do you think?
Blaming who? They all
Each other, or even the
yeah,
Iranian
they,
people, just anyone else?
so this is my impression. Okay, I think what they're doing is they're trying to slowly, without 100% admitting it, trying to make their supporters understand that their enemies are too capable and we need to capitulate to some extent. They have to slow feed this. They have to get, they can't just come out and say that we're losing this. Okay, they have to start basically having a reality check with, they have to basically slowly desensitize some regime supporters with the acceptance that their enemies are quite capable, and they're not going to, like, full on confrontation doesn't make any sense. They have to slowly make them accept this. That's what I think is happening.
I sure hope that's definitely what he's trying to do. You know what we should do? We should go
I
interrogate
don't know.
him.
I don't think so. I think it's bad. I think I like my enemy stupid. Okay, I want them to be reactionary. I want them to be angry. I want them to be angry with the regime for why they're not responding. They are trying to bring them out of this delusion that the enemy is completely is weak and defeated, and we are the strong ones. I think there's an attempt. Yeah, so yeah, see this first thing they're saying. I agree. I mean, the diehards, they need reality. I mean, it would be good for the Islamic Republic if they weren't this stupid. It's good for us that they're this stupid. But these people are trying to make them understand where they are at, and this is why they're giving giving us something from a couple of years ago, because they need to understand that it was always like this. It always has been, right? Also, I think Mossad plays psychological war games, with these people, because it humiliating your enemy is as important as beating them with intelligence operations, with military operations, with economic operations. Psychological operations are as important for your enemy to fear you and be terrified of how much control they have over you. So I think psychological warfare is part of Musa's playbook.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. And I don't even think it would work as effectively as most other countries in the world as it does the Islamic Republic. Like, Mossad has tailored their strategy specifically for operations in Iran.
Yes, nobody, guys, United States has the biggest military and the most capable military in the world as a whole. But when it comes to specialties, there are certain things that Israel can do that America can't. And there's certain information and skills that the Israeli military and intelligence has that the United States doesn't, simply because of experience and simply because of the networks that they have created, right? There are many things that a military can't do unless they have done it before, because no amount of simulation and practice and it would be the real thing, right? And because Israel has a lot of experience inside Iran, and they have built a lot of networks and spy operations and intelligence networks inside Iran, that is something that the United States cannot do, and it needs Israel for. That's why when it comes to taking out heads of regime, the heads of IRGC, surgical removal of the leadership, Israel is needed for. I'm not saying the United States can't do that, but if you want to do it at the scale and as effectively as Israel does, if you want to see the boom boom sheet chart, if you want to see more of those taken out, Israel is the one that has the intelligence and the capability to do that. It's their specialty.
Yep. Guys, we have some quick breaking news and updates for you guys. So in Iraq, I mentioned, I think maybe 20 minutes ago, what's going on in there. Let's take a look. So armed convoys have now once again flooded the streets of Baghdad and are knocking on the headquarters doors of several terrorist militias. So and actually some of these are coming back as well. What ended up happening earlier today is that Iraqi security forces attempted to go into the Al-Nujaba command headquarters. So that's one of the IRGC-backed terrorist proxies in Iraq, in Baghdad. And it looks like the terrorists actually ambushed the Iraqi security forces, and they were forced to retreat from the area. We're also getting some Iraqi news that it's telling us that, sorry, it's mixed in with the Trump news here, that they also managed to knock on the doors of the PMF headquarters in Baghdad, and another clash occurred between Iraqi military forces and the Popular Mobilization Front. They were also forced to retreat from that, which proves one significant thing that the news is done. Here's what I think. The Iraqi security forces are unable to deal with the Popular Mobilization Front on their own. They will require U.S. aid, and I largely believe they will get that aid to deal with these terrorist proxies. As a quick reminder, these proxies have until September 30th to disarm. I do not think they will. They've already told us that they won't. Then, going back into Washington, D.C., the Wall Street Journal has come out with multiple statements right now saying that Trump has told people that he thinks he can break the Iranians' will through an aggressive bombing campaign. Trump also complained to advisors that it is difficult to know who speaks for the top leadership in the Islamic Republic, and every time the U.S. thinks it's making progress, Iran continues its attack. So even though he just
we knew this is going to happen, but yeah, go on. Sorry.
Even though he just said he's confident he can break the IRGC's will through an aggressive bombing campaign, he also said he has grown less confident that the U.S. and Iran can find a diplomatic solution as the war drags on. Those are the things that we're hearing out of the Wall Street Journal, citing President Donald Trump to them. And largely not bad news, if I had to say.
And again, one more, let me say it again. There is no amount of military operations that is going to make the Islamic Republic completely submit. They will pretend to submit, but the only solution is to end them through an uprising by the Iranian people. And the best way to facilitate that is arming the Iranian people.
Yes. And providing some air supports when they get out on the streets as well. I've been wanting that since the beginning. All right, guys, let's read the super chats here. I think you highlighted this one, right? I did call CENTCOM, actually, Fizz and Jusist. I called them right before we started the stream, and they actually struck the Strait of Hormuz with a few more explosions tonight. But they were very few, very, very few. We haven't seen anything since then. We know that the B-1 bomber started its attack probably like an hour from now. So we'll be seeing what happens. Fleshy Interloper with the super chat saying, markets closed. Let's go.
Ooh, let's
Yeah,
go.
let's go.
Yes. Might happen now.
It's approaching 3 a.m. in Iran. So we still have time. Remember, tomorrow still exists. It's still the weekend tomorrow, guys. Don't freak out. I sure hope so. Thank you for the super chat. Channel says, whatever USA is doing is not enough. I want to see huge armies storm into Iran from multiple sides and arrest the fleeing IRGC worldwide as well. I would.
I wanna
I'm
see-
going to dream about that tonight.
Oh.
And I know I'm going to dream.
I want to
about-
see
I'm
the
gonna dream about
Iranian people do that. I want to see the Iranian people do that with American air support. I want to see an armed army of Iranian people do what you just said with Americans providing air support for that army.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, of course, what the USA doing right now in the kinetic front, it's not enough, and everyone knows that. Donald Trump knows that. That's why he's ramping up the pressure, trying to see where the IRGC's red line is. I just don't think he's going to find it. I don't think there is a red line for them unless the uprising of the Iranian people happens. I think that's their red line. Thank you so much, Channel, for the super chat. And Nail Bunny with the 10 Liberty Politics memberships.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Mrs. Claus.
It's epic.
Thank you, Nobany.
Thank you. And Fleshy Interloper saying, IRGC and Basiji morale is rock bottom. Why delay? Why delay? Let's play devil's advocate.
Four
on
M's.
Why would we delay?
The 4 M's, probably. I mean, we don't know. Maybe by tomorrow there's going to be boom booms. But if there is delay, 4 M's: media, midterms, markets, munitions. Okay. Mostly munitions, though, I think. Oh, mostly munitions and markets. Low strategic oil reserves. Midterms, inflation's high right before the midterms, potentially could influence that. Lower munitions, not in terms of specific missile interceptors, are dangerously low. If you want to also have enough of a cushion to be able to respond against a potential other escalation somewhere else around the world.
Thank you for answering that. And thank you, Fleshy. And Fizz Angicist, thank you for the super chat, saying the exit strategy should be the regime exiting or not. You know, maybe they don't have to exit. I'm just saying. Maybe they can, maybe they don't have to leave. They don't have to ever leave. They don't have to ever think about leaving again. You know what I'm getting?
Oh my God.
Thank you, Fizz Angicist.
Oh my God. Guys, I wonder what's always happening in Ali's head,
Yeah, there's like a one constant thought.
No.
Kevin Shaw with the Liberty Politics membership gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. And Fleshy Interloper saying, Steve is offering a last chance deal for you, Addy. What is his last chance deal? Steve, what kind of deal? Okay, we'll see what he says. I'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Fleshy, for the super chat. And Ehef is saying, has the armored full-service off-road Burger King truck shown up in the region? If that shows up, it's a good indicator of a land invasion. Did you know, Armin, did you know that the U.S. military can create a Burger King anywhere on the planet within 24 hours?
No.
A fully functioning Burger King, 24 hours. You can pick it in the middle of Antarctica. It can do it.
Okay.
That's
Do they have a deal with Burger King?
I think so. Thank you, Ehef. I sure hope we see it then. Joanne is saying there's a video of people parading cardboard deceased leaders in Iran. Actually, I think it's Iraq. Could you find it and show everyone? It's hilarious. Yeah, we actually did show it.
Yeah. It's yeah.
What were they saying again? Something Sayed Mujtaba?
Something supporting the Mahdi. If you want to support the Mahdi, you have to support Mujtaba.
Oh, right. Steve is saying you're done. What'd I do? We built an AI Durka analyzer like Alligrams, but it's easier and better. Let me know if you want access for it. Sure. Yeah, I'll take it. Heck yeah. Thank you. And thank you, Joanne, for the super chat. Justin is saying, yeah, these upcoming operations are to take control of the Strait of Hormuz, not regime change. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, I mean, that might be true, but it might also be true that United States would want to punish the Islamic Republic in a severe way, given that they are not behaving. And even if, here's the thing, guys, the Islamic Republic will never stop being the Islamic Republic until they are completely toppled, right? That means that this conflict will continue to exist. We're gonna have military operations continuously, even if there's periods of ceasefire in between it. Even if the Americans don't go for something that completely ends the Islamic Republic, the Islamic Republic cannot continue to withstand to survive this continuous ceasefire military operation. It might not be a fatal wound, one final fatal wound that kills the Islamic Republic, but if we just keep going at it like this, even if the plan is not regime change, at the end of the day, it's going to end up being death by 1,000 cuts, because this is not sustainable. This kind of, especially if they keep going back with ceasefire military operation, at the end of the day, even if it's weakening the Islamic Republic. So we're heading in the right direction, maybe slower than what we want, especially because we don't want the Iranian people are suffering, and we want that end that misery a lot earlier. But we do know that we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, thank you, Justin, for the super chat.
Thank you.
And Amir the Cricket, thank you for the super chat, saying, in the ruler of the world resume, the 12th Imam, the Mahdi, it's fell into a well twice. How old was he? He was like a kid, right? He was like 10 years old or something?
4 or 5 or something.
Or 4 or 5? Okay. That maybe literally is the only thing on his resume. Fell into a well twice. There's nothing else.
He probably died right there.
No.
He probably died and just came up with the, this happens in history a lot, okay? You have somebody who's supposed to be a religious leader, somehow they die. You come up with a story that it was all planned and they're going to come back at some point.
Yeah.
So it has.
Thank you, Amir. That was funny. And Fleshy Interloper is saying, nothing to see here, Ali. No coup plotting. Nope. Yeah, I actually found out there's multiple people in my chat attempting to overthrow me for some reason.
Oh.
Have I not been fair to the people?
Guys, come plan the coup on my side of the channel. Come to my chat, and we could plan it here over my side. Okay. How about this? How about people could plan a coup on my channel on Ali's chat, and people on my chat could plan a coup for your channel. There you go.
Yeah.
We'll see who wins.
Thank you, Fleshy. And that's never happening. I'm gonna hold firm to power. I'm not limiting it up. Saber Coaching is saying, Wallahi, the Islamic Republic are effed. I can't wait. Javid Shah. Yeah. Javid Shah.
Wallahi, they're effed.
That's funny. Thank you, Saber Coaching. And Fleshy Interloper is saying, after this pasting, why wait and let them rebuild? Yeah.
Are they rebuilding, though?
They're rebuilding in the terms of their drone production, but even the facilities for those have been hit this past week. But the missile cities entrances, they cleared those up within a few weeks after the 40-day war.
That's not rebuilding, to be fair.
It's not rebuilding. Yeah, just the drones that they've produced since is the technical rebuilding. On every other front, they've lost, so it's not really significant. But I just don't want to give them a chance to rebuild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm genuinely asking.
Pro pressure. Oh no. Sharon saying, I'm the cardboard Ali, believe me. Guys.
Good enough for me.
Guys. And thank you, Fleshy. And Nail Bunny is saying, what kind of idiot falls down a well twice? The Mahdi, apparently.
That's
But what kind of idiot makes him the leader of the religion? It's just some kid who fell down a well. I mean, I don't even see I don't know.
I mean, he was
Anyway.
he was in the line of succession for being the imam. Okay, let me actually look this up. What is the exact story of the Mahdi falling in the well twice?
And Nail Bunny is also saying, wouldn't you avoid wells after the first time? I mean, I would. But I mean, again, I'm not the 12th imam, so.
Okay, let me steelman this. Okay, he know that this was his destiny. He was supposed to go down the well and go into occultation, be hidden for hundreds of years, thousands of years, and then come back at some point. So he went towards the well, fell down, but people saw and were like, oh no, and they came and saved him, and he was like, stop it, this is meant to happen, stop saving me, and they saved him. So then he tried the second time, and this time he picked a well far away from where people could see.
Okay. There we go. I feel like there's just some sort of like puppet leader there who wanted to, assume power or something. Oh, okay. Steve's asking for my email.
I think the actual story is just he fell down a well and they were like, oh no, you were supposed to be the 12th imam. And like, it's okay, we could just write a story.
How do I copy this? Oh no. Okay. Steve, my email for my YouTube is this. Put in my chat. Oh, Shauna came over to my chat saying I got to help out the resistance. Okay, cool. We'll get to that in a second. Heck yeah. Guys, come on over. Can you guys believe that I have, how many viewers are watching right now? 300? Isn't that weird? I just started, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, no breaking news here. All right, let's keep on going.
Guys.
Thank you, Nail Bunny.
Your channel is growing fast.
Yeah. The more value I can bring to you guys, hopefully the faster we grow. And then I can get some important people to interview, like Side by Saying Ninja. I can go to him and be like, hey, I'm not a nobody. And Fleshy Interloper with the finish the job confetti.
Yes.
I was really hoping some breaking news would come out at that exact second, but okay, thank you. Thank you, Fleshy. Appreciate you a lot, by the way.
Thank you.
Nail
Thank
Bunny
you,
saying, Prime Minister Andy Burnham knows which way the wind is blowing. I've got an early flight, so night-night, y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for the super chat.
So she probably didn't see this. Okay, hopefully she looks at this later. Thank you, Nail Bunny.
So it looks like the Prime Minister of the UK...
And safe travels.
Oh, yeah, and safe travels, Nail Bunny. Be safe. So it looks like the Prime Minister of the UK is actually... logistically, it looks like he's on board. He's meeting with Trump next week. They're going to send some warships and some minesweepers over to the Strait of Hormuz. It's going to be a while before they get there, probably. I don't know, but definitely a step in the right direction. He's also going to let the U.S. use Diego Garcia, the base in the Indian Ocean, fully from now on. So that's good. But I've heard he's got some controversial takes with domestic policy. Hey, you win some, you lose some. Thanks, Nail Bunny, for that. And welcome, Dr. K. Cobra, for being a member. Welcome on board.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Justin's saying 100 Mother of all bombs on Pickaxe Mountain.
I don't know if that would do anything. I thought Moabs are supposed to
Yeah.
just destroy everything on a surface level and massively destroy. I don't think Moabs dig down. They don't
No.
do it. They're not diggers.
No.
Bunker busters dig. Moabs just like destroy everything on sight, on the
Correct.
surface. Yes.
Moabs, the last time they were launched or used was Afghanistan 2017. Detonated, I think it was like 50 or 60 feet above ground. Destroyed everything on the surface. But bunker busters, they can actually go, I think it's like 60 meters into the ground, into solid ground, and then about 18 or 19 meters into solid concrete as well. So that's just an engineering marvel. Thank you, Justin, for the super chat.
Ooh.
Dom Dividend saying Shabbat Shalom, y'all.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Guys, you know why I say this every time when I hear Shabbat Shalom? I say this like this because I was in Jerusalem and we were in like next close to the wall, the Wailing Wall, at like really late at night, and there was like nobody around us, and there was this Jewish guy with like religious Jewish clothing, and he was going around and like there was nobody there, and he was going Shabbat Shalom for far away. I could see him saying Shabbat Shalom, and then we shouted back Shabbat Shalom, and he was saying Shabbat Shalom. So from then on, every time I hear Shabbat Shalom, that scene comes to my mind, and I just say it exactly the way he was shouting it. Every time I hear Shabbat Shalom.
Interesting. And we have our next. Thank you, Dom Dividend, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don Payton, for the jewels.
Thank
and
you.
BT with
Shabbat
the super chat,
Shalom.
saying Shabbat
Yes.
Shalom. Love you, Armin and Andy. Oh, thank you very
Love you.
much. Hope everything's good. Trying to get caught up on the chat here. Thank you so much, BT. Hope everything's good. Stay safe. And Kevin Shaw with the super chat saying maybe confetti. Yeah, I think we both
get
hit confetti here.
Yay,
yeah.
we both did. Who got it first this time?
I actually don't know. Guys, does anyone know?
I think you got it first. Damn it.
And
Why?
Thank you, Kevin.
Everybody, all the big, not all. Some who's loyal to me here? BT, you're with me. Amir is here with me. Oh, look at Dom is here. Lior is here.
Yeah.
Why
Thanks,
is Lior
Steve,
not
for-
admin? What the hell?
Oh, I don't know. Thanks, Steve,
Lior.
for sending the Durka analyzer. I'll take a look at it. I'm trying to read you guys' messages in the chat as well. Appreciate that. Okay. Our next super chat, thank you, Kevin, is from Finger Words saying, do you think the IRGC will fall soon? Depends on your definition of soon. I think my personal opinion, I think we're like 95% there. How long is the 5% going to take? Could be 3 months, could be 6 months, could be 2 years. I don't know.
Okay, here's what I say. We don't know. And it's important that we say we don't know. Because we need to be ready for both type of fights. We need to be ready for the IRGC falling tonight. And we need to be ready for IRGC lasting another 10 years. That's the way we need to be fighting. Because if we send the basically express the understanding that they're going to fall soon, if they don't, then we're going to demotivate people because the expectation was that it's going to happen soon and then it didn't, and people will quit the fight. If we create the expectation that it's going to happen in a long time, then that will cause a lot of people to get demotivated and say like, well, if it's going to take long, then why fight now? We could fight later, right? So we in my mind, I think the best thing to do is to say it could be either. It could be 5 days, it could be 5 months, it could be 5 years, it could be longer. And you have to be prepared for both. You have to fight in a way that it could be either. That's the answer. I know that is not a satisfying answer, and people don't like uncertainty. But I have been doing this for 20 years, and so many times I've seen people say the regime is going to fall by next week, and it didn't, and it made us lose people because people created false expectations. And this is why for for all these years I was the skeptical person, and people called me pessimistic, and people told me that, Armin, you're taking hope away from our fight. Why are you being pessimistic? I was like, I'm not being pessimistic, I'm being realistic, and I'm thinking about maintaining hope long term. You're trying to give people hope in the short term, but if what you're saying will happen does not happen, then people will get demotivated and they won't believe you next time. So I was actually correct all of those years when I was being, let's be skeptical. It could fall the next week, but it might also not. We have to fight. We have to fight as if we have a chance to make the regime fall by next week, but we also have to prepare in a way that it might not.
Till the end. Thank you for that, Armin. Thank you for the super chat, Finger. And Sarah Ocean saying, without sounding creepy, I genuinely love you boys, and I wish you continued success, and I hope life provides abundance for you, warrior brothers. Ooh, we're warrior brothers.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Thank you, Sarah. That's very kind of you. I
like that a lot more than the idea of him being my son. Yes, brothers. That's
warrior brothers. Yes.
Warrior
also,
brothers,
that's not creepy at all. Don't say that. Thank you so much.
Why would that be creepy?
Yeah, exactly. And Sarah also said, Armin, our hardest working freedom fighter. He really is. He really, really is. I can't do it. I can't do what you do. There's no way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And Fizz Endricist is saying exiting Earth equals exiting Earth, Adi.
Oh, so he's more.
He agrees. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you, Fizz Endricist. And Varun is saying Trump is Al-Zut to mullahs.
Okay. If you know, you know. Oh my God.
Heck yeah. I mean, I don't know what that means. I have no idea. But thank you very much. No, I have no idea. Roman Cabbage is saying, Armin and others in the chat. So we agree on the coup? Wait, you can't have Armin. You can't have Armin lead the coup. One of you guys have to lead the coup.
Ali, this is a coup against you. He's in my chat.
I'm the underdog. You can't coup against the underdog.
You're not. You're not. Look at your live views now. Sometimes they pass mine. I'm the underdog.
We're evening out actually. So like earlier, I had like 450. You had 500. Now I have 300.
Guys, I'm the underdog. Come to my side. We have to. You guys went to Ali's channel saying, guys, we have to support the smaller channel. I'm the smaller channel now. Come back.
I mean, guys, I don't know. I only have 3,000 subs. I mean, Armin's got almost 100,000.
It doesn't. Subs don't matter. Live views matter. It doesn't really matter who has the big subs. Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God, can you hear that?
Yeah, but it's okay.
The giant military plane flying right over my house. I Am Marie has been saying this for a while. So that China is defending the IRGC publicly. yeah, can you tell us where to look for that? I would actually really like to see it. And thank you. Shauna is saying, I just got here, but I'll help Addy with the resistance against this heathen coup. Yeah, it
Oh my
is a
God.
heathen coup. It's ridiculous.
Wait.
I mean,
But you're a heathen
I'm the
as
new
well.
guy.
What the hell? What is
no,
Shauna?
she sent that on your chat. No, she sent that on your chat. But guys, come on. I'm the new guy. You know what I mean?
No. Guys, you've seen how the dark thoughts this man has. Okay, he's evil. Don't trust him.
Yep. Marie said 2CTV is the source. Okay, I wonder where he got that from. I'll check out his live and see if he cites it. You know what? Okay, yeah, it was 2CTV. I don't know, Shauna. You weren't in my chat. I don't know if you're helping me here.
See?
But speaking of people who are in my chat,
he's not even worth defending. He's not grateful. You see? Even when you try to defend him, he's like, "Why are you on that side?" He doesn't understand that you're trying to infiltrate. Yeah, see?
Guys, all I'm saying is I'm not attacking my political opponent here. I hope you guys see that. Hezi is saying, Armin be like, let me play the Mahdi's advocate. That's true. That's true. What do you have to say for yourself?
I would be the best supreme leader, you know, as a representative of the Mahdi. Honestly, I think I would do a good job. Like, you know, if you make me supreme leader, I know what to do. I know these people's theology more than them.
I mean, guys, do I have to? No, I'm kidding. Yeah. No, but that's true though. And that comes because you understand the internal workings of the Islamic Republic better than anyone.
Do you know the Mahdi? Oh my God, should I tell this to people?
Probably
Do you know, guys, how you really quickly? I'm going to say so, guys. The Mahdi is so pure, that, and I kid you not, I heard this from a sermon of a mullah. When he poops, the earth opens up and takes in his poop because he is unholy to just have his poop out in the open, right? So if you see somebody and you suspect that he's the Mahdi, just hold him in a cage somewhere and just see what happens when he poops. If the earth opens and takes over his poop, then that's the Mahdi. I'm not making this stuff up, by the way.
That makes sense. There you go, Hezi. He was your advocate for the Mahdi. Thank you for the super chat. And Adabine is saying, hey guys, from Australia here, and Christian, love you guys. Heartbreaking to see what this cult has done to Iran. We need you free to be screaming from the rooftops what Islam will do to the West. That's our next stop. Iran's free. We keep on going and telling you guys, look at what happened to Iran with it. It's going to happen to you guys as well. Draw the similarities, educate people on it, keep on going.
Yeah, and honestly, this is why the Iranian people are such a powerful ally for this, because we have the experience of what happens to your country when Islam takes over. So, you know, use the Iranian people as your allies in this fight to warn the West. We know, we have the experience. We know what happens.
Look at the misery that happened to us. I mean, you know, that's definitely a lesson to be learned. Thank you, Adabine. We'll definitely be doing that. And Leo says, thanks, Armin. I feel so honored. I'll make you proud.
Yeah, well, thank you. See, Leo is loyal to me. See, the people who left, see, Leo and I, we maintain a really good relationship. And I'm honored, Leo, to have you as an admin on my chat.
Absolutely. Thank you. And Fizz Energist is saying, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Bug Brother Ron.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Bug Brother.
Bug Brother. This is going to keep expanding, huh? Bug Brother Ron. You put an ant emoji there. It will complete the lore of our live chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Fizz Energist. And Ninja or Rooster is saying, we are the 300 Armin.
Yes! Let's go! And
I have a grudge against that movie, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Rooster. And Tinle is saying, Armin begging for subs? Jealousy politics. Oh.
I'm not begging for subs. I'm threatening the people who are betraying me. There's a difference.
It worked.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Tinle. Liberty politics exposed. That's all I'm going to say. That'll be the title of this video. It's gonna be a picture of your face, and it's gonna be like, Liberty politics isn't who you think he is. And
hey, you're to speak with all your dark thoughts of your
hey, I'm saying them out in the open here.
The psychopath is telling me, it's trying to expose me here.
I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Mama Boss Brett is saying, Ali, did you see the speech by Senator Xi yesterday? I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we played it.
That was great.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was a great speech.
It was the best
sadly,
speech I've ever heard in my life.
It was such a great speech, and he was speaking with so much emotion in his voice, especially about his fallen comrades. Unfortunately, I think it probably fell on deaf ears within that room, but the impact it's made online is enormous. So I hope we see more and more of that. And honestly, well done, Senator Xi. Thank you.
That was pretty good.
Thank you for that super chat. BT is saying, Quran chapter 64, verse 11, saying, no calamity strikes except by the permission of Allah. Why is Allah serving so many L's to Muslims?
Well, here's the
BT,
answer.
It's a test. You don't understand. It's a test.
True. And it also, only through hardship, you will give up on worldly things and come back to Allah.
Duh. That's why the worst things imaginable happen to you, and it's just a test.
If you're winning, is because you're on Allah's side, and Allah is making you win, and your power and it shows that God is with you. If you're losing, it shows that Allah is on your side, because Allah puts the people He loves the most under hardship so that they come back to Him and not get distracted by worldly things. So either way, Allah is on your side.
Wow. What a convenient thing to say.
Yeah.
Thank you, BT, who also knows that.
Thank you, BT.
And Otazu is saying, God just saved my life. Instead of me crying, I'm watching you guys to calm down.
Oh.
Hope everything's okay.
Yeah.
Just deep breaths, water, and watch us. We'll take you the rest of the way there. No, I'm kidding. I hope you're okay though.
Well, thank you. And it makes us feel so good to know that we can be helpful.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're okay.
Yep. Absolutely. I think something to do with some kind of shop and a car or something like that. I hope you're fine.
What happened? Are you okay?
I'm not sure. I was looking up in the chat to see. But yeah, tell us what happened, Arzu. We'll check. Thank you for the super chat. And Shaul, thank you for the jewels. Mark of Reality is saying, I believe that the IRGC has lost the ability to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. I found this out on the internet. Please let me know if I'm wrong. No, I think you're largely correct. They're still being to fire missiles, but to control shut down the strait, not really. No,
they never ever were able to shut down. The Strait of Hormuz was never fully shut down. They were able to cause some disruptions, but it was never fully shut down. To be fair, it was also not fully open, but it was never fully shut down either. Millions of barrels went through with the help of U.S. Navy.
Yep. And I think they're going to get pushed back into central Iran, hopefully with this upcoming operation that's supposed to start any second now. Thank you, Mark. And Mommy123 said, Ali, if he had long hair plus beard equals Haqamanashi Irani. Yeah, I actually did grow out my hair in that exact style once, and I looked just like it. But it's a lot of work. But you're absolutely right. I like that.
Show us
Thank
picture
you.
one.
Okay. Yeah. And thank you for that super chat.
Thank
James
you.
Moore saying Stratotankers and Pegasus in the air above Jordan and Israel. Now, what have I missed, and what is about to happen? Pretty much everyone thinks that right now the operation is about to begin, and I mean like pretty much right now. So a lot of people who live near Ben Gurion Airport on Telegram are reporting that they heard a ton of planes take off for the past 15 minutes. And then people in Iraq are saying that they hear jet activity along the Iran-Iraq border. Now, again, that doesn't mean something's going to happen. We've heard a lot of these things before, so I'm keeping an eye. Keeping an eye. Hopefully, James. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. And thank you, James, for the super chat. Shauna is saying, I found the Persian Prince of American. We will fight the Horde. Oh my God. That's my new title. The Persian Prince of American. Yes. I'll put
That's a
that in
good
my
title.
YouTube bio.
Wait, she's on your side. I thought Shauna was on my side. Oh no. I was
Yeah.
what the hell? Why, Shauna? Why? You too, Brutus? Brutus. All of you are Brutuses. You know, Shauna, you know how I found out that you were not on my chat? Because I was looking for you to make you admin. And then I was like, no, she's not even here.
Oh my God, Shauna, yeah, let me keep your
I was-
username right there while I add you as an admin. We'll just stay
I was
right
like,
there where
I'm
you
gonna make
are.
Shauna admin, and then I realized she's not even here.
Yeah, Shauna, can you stay right there? Let me just read your username to make you a mod here real quick.
Sad.
This is fun. And thank you for the super chat, Shauna. We have Jagatai saying, Ali, you're great, but but Armin is my atheist prophet.
Let's
I mean,
go.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding. This is what I call loyalty.
You know what? I'll remember that. Thanks, Jagatai. And Shauna, thank you for the jewels. And you know what? Shauna also say, it's a good point. Shauna said, I would also like to point out that Ali's stream is kosher, unlike Armin's. So if you're really a Zionist, you should be on Ali's stream.
Wow. Wait, why is your stream kosher?
Oh man, I
Why
don't
is
know.
my stream not kosher? What do? I have no milk and meat. Okay, I have some meat, but this is a boy. It doesn't produce milk, so there's no way to mix them.
Interesting. Thank you, Shauna. That cracked me up. And Amy says, you know you've made it when you get trolls. Yeah, I get that guy coming in here and saying things in Farsi. I don't really get it because I can't actually read what he says most of the time. It's so small. But I don't know. I'm assuming he's mad or something. I don't know. Thank you so much, Amy. Also, I hope you're doing well with your heart recovery. Saber Coaching is saying, guys, Akbar Abdi passed away. Made me sad. Rip. Who dat? He's an actor. He's an Iranian actor. What did he play in? I haven't seen his films, but hey, rest in peace if he was.
Yeah. Condolences to all the people who are affected.
Thank you, Saber.
Arzu, I hope you're doing okay. Arzu, I hope you're doing okay. And yeah, I don't know. It seemed like she had an accident or something. I hope you recover. Everything goes well.
Yeah, hope so. And Shauna also said, because you like pork, Armin. Ali and I don't. It's a callback. Ooh. See, guys, I stand up for myself here. I don't get peer pressure, and it paid off.
Ali, have you ever had any food that is
No,
not
I'm not
cooked?
answering any
Okay.
further questions. I'm not answering any further questions. Thank you, Shauna.
I mean,
Guys.
that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. You didn't answer. At least here's the thing. Here's the thing. We're both not kosher. I'm transparent about it. He's hiding it.
Am I?
Yeah, you just said I'm not answering the questions.
Oh,
I-
yes, I'm hiding it. Yes.
See? Okay, there you go.
And guys, please remember to subscribe to our channels, both Adi Samani and Armin Navabi on YouTube. And with that, we will get back to you guys tomorrow. We're actually pretty much anticipating some strikes tonight. It looks like they're going to take place after we go live. And as always, if anything significant happens, we'll be live real soon. So with that.
Wait, let me actually put the link to Ali's channel in the chat. So my chat, I have some specific instructions for you. Here's the link to Ali's YouTube channel in my chat. Okay, so here's what you do. You do not go to Ali's channel and you do not subscribe to his channel. You stay here, okay? I don't know why I would post a link to his channel while making that request, but this is the reason why I put the link there is so that you know which channel not to subscribe to. Not to subscribe to. That's the reason I put it there, okay? Okay. And then I have access to his chat, and I'm gonna take advantage of putting the link to my channel, which is Liberty Politics, into his chat, so you could subscribe to my channel instead. See, I have the power.
Subscribe to Liberty Politics.
To his chat. Yes, and also I will put the link to the Monkeys channel in the chat as well, in both of our chats. Okay, and yes, you have to subscribe to the monkey because the monkey gets really angry, and I'm afraid of him. so I'm protecting myself by promoting his channel. All right, so go and subscribe to his channel, please. Thank you. Oh, we got another super chat.
Let's end it off with James Moore saying, "Have you ever smelled bacon cooking? Praise Bacon Fryer James."
Ooh,
James Moore, the bacon chef. I actually can't remember if I have.
Lior, did you say bacon? Oh, okay, no, sorry. You were taking bacon. You said chef. I remember that Lior is our chef, but then I realized that she only bakes cookies, so never mind.
Yes. Thank you, James, for the super chat. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys very much. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. And Arzu, I hope you're doing better. I hope you're recovering. Things are going to be okay.
Yes.
You're alive. You're healthy. That's all that matters. So wishing you the best. All right, guys. Oh my God, I'm already late for something. Shh. All right, guys. Gotta go. We're going to see you same time tomorrow. And until then, I'm Israel Chai. Slava Ukrainian. Cuba Libre. Long live America. Javid Shah.
Payende,
Iran.
Iran.
See you guys.